These are the plaintiffs, Diane and Breanne Bigelow. Diane says her teenage daughter picked up the defendant who was smoking, jumped in the car, and burned the roof lining with the lit cigarette. When she confronted the defendant's mom, she replied, "Kids will be kids and accidents happen." Huh? It's time they cough up the money, so they're suing for the $777.94 they're owed. These are the defendants, Susan and Amanda Roberts. Susan says the plaintiff, Breanne, allows smoking in her car, and her daughter accidentally brushed up against the roof liner, making a very little pockmark in it. This is a very small incident, which has been blown out of proportion by the money-hungry plaintiffs. There have been even threats and harassment in school, which is totally uncalled for. Bottom line, she has marks in her car from kids' bikes and stuff like that. Get over it. They're accused of blowing smoke. The defendants have filed a countersuit for $300 for harassment.
Okay, Diane and Breanne Bigelow?
Right.
All right, you are suing Susan and Amanda Roberts for $777.94 that you say it's going to cost to replace a liner that she burned in the car that she drives.
Right.
Okay, so moms were not in the car, so ladies, go ahead. First of all, how old are you?
I'm 18.
How old are you?
I am 17.
And how old were you at the time that this happened?
17.
And how old are you?
I was 16.
Okay, so go on.
At the time, it was a brand new car. I don't allow anyone to smoke in the car.
Okay.
At the time.
At the time it was a brand new car. You mean new to you?
Well, yeah, new to me.
I got it 2005 Honda Civic.
Yeah, I got it for my 16th birthday.
Okay.
And I don't smoke cigarettes, so I didn't want anyone smoking in my car. And I've told her several times not to smoke in my car.
How did you two know each other?
We were friends.
Like from how long?
Since, I want to say, elementary school.
Okay, so go ahead. Good friends?
Huh?
Good friends?
Yeah.
Okay, what happened?
I had asked her several times not to smoke in my car, and I'd pick her up every morning for school. And
But what do you mean you asked her several times? Would she smoke anyway? Why would you have to ask her several times?
Yeah, she'd smoke anyways in my car.
In your car?
Yeah.
Why don't you stop the car and say, "Get the heck out"? Was she smoking too?
No.
Okay. Was she letting you smoke in there?
She let me smoke in the car, and she also let others smoke in the car.
Okay. So that day, tell me what happened.
So that day I had picked her up at the end of the street because her mom doesn't know that she smoked cigarettes at the time. And she'd go to the end of the street.
How old are you, by the way?
16.
Oh, yeah, I already asked you that.
Yeah.
What the heck are you doing? You're unaware of all the medical literature on smoking? Okay, because at least my father, who has severe chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder, okay, and spent 4 months on a ventilator, at least when he started smoking, you know, he didn't know. And then once he learned, it was just so hard to quit. But you guys know all that, and then you start doing it. Why? Because you think you look so darn fabulous. It's disgusting. All right, go ahead.
So that day I had picked her up and she had a cigarette in her hand, and I said, "You're not bringing that in my car." She said, "Well, let me put my backpacks in the back seat." And at the time I was like, "Okay, don't put that in the car, keep it outside the window." As she was putting her backpacks in the back seat, she had accidentally burnt the top of my headliner with the cigarette.
Okay, first of all, I want you to know, just in case there's any doubt in your mind, that I don't buy a single word you just said. I believe that you were letting her smoke in your car and that she burnt the liner. How'd you burn the liner?
I walked up to the top of the street to get picked up by Bree. I opened the door. I had the cigarette in one hand. She never said that, "Oh, don't smoke this in my car. You're not smoking that in my car." I opened the door and I went to go put my stuff in the back, and it nicked the top of right by the window where it curves up.
Okay, well, then you damaged their car, right? Okay, so when you get how do you learn what happened? How does mom learn?
I don't learn until, this happened in September. I don't learn until November 16th.
How come? Let me hear from your daughter why.
My mom was going in for surgery, and I specifically asked for it not to be brought to her because I didn't want any more stress to be put upon her and that her cause anything to happen during the surgery. And I then ended up asking them to please go to my aunt because I did not want to put my mom through that.
Okay, when that happens, do you realize what you did?
Yes.
Okay, and when does her mom get involved?
what had happened was she ended up like stopping back at our house and picking up stuff to like try and clean it with, and that didn't work. And we went to school and she was like, you know, you're gonna have to pay for this, you know this. I was like, yes. I was like, I don't want anything to happen. I didn't want any problems to come from this.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. What world do you live in that you don't think you'd have to pay for that? You burned the liner. Of course you have to pay for it. Right? Who else would have to pay for it? Am I going to pay for it?
No.
Is he going to pay for it?
No.
No. Is your mom going to pay for it? Heck no. Okay, so then what happens? You contact the aunt out of respect for the child's wishes and please not to upset the mother.
I spoke privately with Amanda, and I said to her, Amanda, you know, I really feel you need to be accountable for your actions. You're doing a big person's thing by smoking, and if you damage someone's property, and Bree really loves her car. I have pictures of the burns and her car.
Right.
And she takes really good care of it.
No, she doesn't. She lets people smoke in it.
Well, you know what?
Mom,
I think she learned her lesson
you
now.
got to fall off the turnip truck, lady. She lets people smoke
You're
in
right.
it. Okay,
You're
this
right.
is not, over
Okay.
and over again, people don't magically start to smoke in it, okay?
Yeah.
That she lets people smoke in it
You're-
because they're cool, they have
You're
all the
correct.
answers, and you two are fuddy-duddies, right?
That's right.
That's what we are. We don't know
That's
what we're
right.
talking about. They invented everything.
Yeah,
They invented
exactly.
boys, they invented... but I digress. Hold on.
And I apologize for them not being very clear, because for some reason when you put the camera close,
Yeah, you
it
gotta
just
back up.
doesn't.
All right, so you talk to her and you tell her she's going to have to pay for it. She says yes.
I said,
and
you
she
know,
ends up
Amanda-
paying $61 of it,
Right.
correct?
I said to her, you could work around my house, you can pay me a little bit a week out of your allowance.
Why is that funny?
I
Wait,
think she should be
stop.
accountable.
Why is that funny? Why is that funny?
She was threatening her to come to me, knowing that she didn't want me to be told, and trying to get money out of her, knowing that she's a minor, knowing that she didn't have a job. They even went as far as to take her to her daughter's job to get an application, to fill out an application, and the daughter turned around to the manager and said she needs a job because she needs to pay me back.
Okay, so what effort have you made to pay it back after those first $61?
After that, they ended up trying to contact my aunt, and that's why I had them go to her
Right.
for help. And my aunt
Then
was
according to the aunt who submitted an affidavit, the aunt says, I was waiting for legitimate receipt and pictures. I never got pictures, and I saw some fake. It didn't look legit to me because it was handwriting on the back of a
All it
business
was
card.
a business card with
Oh,
$250.
you know, sometimes you want to get it on the sly and cheap. Maybe that's how it works on the sly and cheap. But it was a business card of a car repair place, and you know what I don't
And
get
I
is she's never denied. Your daughter doesn't deny that she did it. That's why I don't get why somebody doesn't say $250. That's a pretty good deal. And by the way, how much are your ciggies costing you, Sweet Pea? How are you paying for those cigarettes?
a boyfriend at the time.
Oh, good. Well, then hit your boyfriend up for the rest of the money for the burn mark, right? Now, apparently things got a little bit nasty, and all of a sudden there was no working this out. Tell me about that.
After I spoke with the aunt, she totally agreed with me and understood. I'm sorry that she didn't get what she thought she needed. But at school, there was a confrontation. Brienne's principal called me and said, Brienne and Amanda cannot have this in school. And, that was Brienne asking Amanda for the money. And when are you going to do this?
So let's see that. You have the actual printouts of the text between them. My favorite part of the job.
Oh, yes.
Where we teach children as well as grown-ups that say it, forget it, write it, regret it. Are you two not talking to each other by this point because you're mad that she hasn't come up with the money?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you used to take her to school every day?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was in the same-
Obviously, the number isn't important if you keep losing it. Don't ask me again, please, and then she gives a number. Don't be a B. Thanks, I'll ask it from you if I want, because your aunt hasn't paid the blanking money. My mom is going to your mom. Bye. You think everyone loves you and that you're funny because you're ridiculous. Leave me alone. Stop texting me. I need your mom's number. Nope, go to blanking hell. Okay, then my mom will go to your mom's work. Go right ahead. Stop blanking texting me. Hope your mom knows you smoke pot. Yes, she does. Nothing's going to stop me. Nice going. I'm not getting in a problem for this.
Trouble, I think she misspelled that.
Trouble? Oh, okay. And whole, I assume it's hope your mom knows some stuff too. Ah, ladies. All right.
Yeah, I actually went into the school that day to speak with them because of the issues that had been going on previous. I had found out about all the...
Okay, tell me about this. Why is it that you have several different wide-ranging estimates? You have one that's for $245.98 that says roof lining. You have another one that's for $595.61.
Okay,
That's-
those are
I'm sorry, I'm not asking you, I'm asking her. They're not
That's
your
estimates I got.
Oh, they are your estimates. I'm sorry,
Yes.
which one's yours?
The estimates that
From
have
where?
Leah Honda.
Leah Honda will charge what to install it and the
The
for
dealership,
product and-
$595.
Okay. Now, why were you only asking for $250 originally? Because you were
Originally-
trying to cut her a break, but what was the $250 going to cover?
It was just a patch. And you know what? Then I started thinking about it, and after having so much time and patience, I don't think I should settle for a patch.
What's the cheapest you can get it done for and have the lining replaced?
Well, I went to Enfield Honda for only one estimate. This is
And
the
what
two.
did they
This is
say?
the two combined. And they gave me the estimate, one for parts and one for labor,
And
spelled
what was
out
the
for you.
total?
Right, 800 and I just gave it to him. So
Okay. And now, according to you, you went to a Honda dealership.
I went to
Leah
the same Honda dealership.
What do you mean the same one?
It's Enfield Honda.
This is Leah Honda in Enfield, Connecticut. Is that the same one you went to?
we went to Leah Hyundai in Enfield,
Well,
Connecticut.
that's fascinating. They gave you the estimate that it would be $595.61. Do you have a friend there? Do you have a friend there?
I don't.
So, is the plaintiff entitled to get a new upholstery, or is a patch job sufficient?
I think new upholstery would be perfect because they were smoking in someone else's car and they damaged it.
But what about a patch, used upholstery, you know?
No, not acceptable.
Not acceptable? Your final word.
The owner is entitled to having the car look like how it looked prior to her being in it. So, new upholstery.
She sounds like a judge with a tank top going inside the courtroom.
Here's an estimate, so I assume they'll do it for that price.
They'll do it for,
$595.61.
that's
I'm
only the part, that's only the parts, then the
No,
labor's
that's
added.
parts and labor. $298 for labor, $235 for the parts. It's right here. I'm looking
Okay.
at it. I don't know why they quoted you so high.
They gave me parts, 232.
I heard you.
And labor, 526.
Now look at me. I have the printout from them, okay, where they gave her a completely different quote. This was the other day. They gave you your quote, how long ago? In January, I guess?
Yeah, when I decided
Right.
to.
Well, apparently business has not been good to the Honda dealership because they're willing to do it for life. Look, I agree with you. You shouldn't have to put up with a patch. You damaged it. You want to pay? You got to pay. It's that simple. Your excuses in the answer to the complaint about how, oh, well, you know, they're kids and she let her smoke there anyway, so it's not fair. That's silly.
No,
of course she's got to
it's the
pay.
blackmail for the money. And her
You know
not
what?
going to an
I'm sorry
adult.
that that's how it ends up, but if your daughter was woman enough to sit around smoking at 8 in the morning, then she should be woman enough to walk up to you and tell you, listen, Mom, I know I smoke, and I'm really sorry, but I had this little accident, and I'm going to pay it off. Don't worry. I'm going to pay them $5 a week or $10 a week. I'm going to use my cigarette money. I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to use the cigarette money my boyfriend gives me, and I'm going to pay this off. Mom, see, so this is a happy day, Mom, because you already know I smoke. So this is just the bad part, and I'm going to look what a good daughter you. You know, she had done that, I understand. But, you know, the harassment, yes, you're right, that's bad behavior. But that's not going to net you $300 like you're suing for harassment because they're kids and they're obnoxious, and this is what they do. Okay, they trash talk. They don't realize that they're trash talking their filthy language, and their insulting commentary is going to end up on national television, much less be read by their mothers, which I am sure is worse than being on national television. Okay, accusing each other of smoking pot. You know, yeah, great. Woohoo. Big day for you two. Okay? Use your brains. You are grown women now, okay? You write stuff down, it stays around forever. Okay. The lawsuit against the mom is dismissed. There are very limited circumstances where a parent is responsible for a child's conduct. Just because they're a minor doesn't mean the parent's responsible for it. This is not such a situation where you have two grown women basically in a car going to school and, you know, one of them doing her thing. This is not inadequate supervision on her part. She didn't hand her the cigarettes to burn your car with. It's not one of those situations. So the lawsuit against Susan is dismissed. Against Amanda, I find in your favor for the $595.61. So I'm going to deduct the $61 that has already been paid and find in favor of the plaintiff for a net judgment in the amount of $534.61. As for your counterclaim against her, even though I find that you were clearly, I mean, you could tell from the nature of these texts that you were angry and jabbing her. They're teenagers. This is what they do. That does not make an actionable case for you of $300. Zero on your counterclaim. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
And so the defendant comes out on the losing end of this case. How embarrassing is this whole thing for you?
It's not that embarrassing. I'm not embarrassed, no.
Not even the texting back and forth, the things you say to each other, the way you behave?
She was saying the worst
I'm
things.
not asking her, I'm asking you.
No, I'm talking about
Her.
Her. Yeah, she
Yeah, I
was
know,
saying.
but I'm asking you. So,
I wasn't jabbing back at her. I just wanted everything to stop. That's all I want.
so where you sneaking your smokes now?
I don't smoke anymore.
Really?
Yep, I quit.
All right, right down there.
Thank you.
All right, so come on in here. You embarrassed about the way you behaved?
Yes. I'm
Tell me
very
about it.
embarrassed. I'll never talk to somebody like that again in a text message.
It's funny how different that sounds than her answer to the same question, isn't it? Did you notice? What do you have to say to her out here in front of everyone?
Well, I'm proud of my daughter, and usually she always behaves. She doesn't smoke. She doesn't smoke pot. You know what? But you know what? Children need to be accountable for their actions. They need to be accountable, and us parents have to stop coddling them, teach them.
Harvey?
You know, the laws involving parental responsibility vary from state to state. In some cases, that you actually have to prove malice on the part of the kid to be responsible. In other cases, negligence is enough. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.